Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, it looks like the end of an era for the celebrity couple Meg Thee Stallion and NBA star Klay Thompson. Now, I rarely talk relationship gossip on this show, but we do involve some entertainment from time to time, pop culture. So this is a part of pop culture. This has been on the digital space for quite some time, and I'm like, well, let me share this with you because when you root for a couple. Oh, I hope they win. I hope they stay together. They seem like a great looking couple. They're both very successful. I hope they can succeed. I remember who was it? Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor. Similar, right? Because Tiana Taylor is a award-winning entertainer. She is a Golden Globe winning actress now. Her husband, Iman Shumpert, former NBA player, I believe he has one or two NBA championship rings. He's now an analyst. So both of them, again, successful in their own right. But beautiful couple, right? They seem very attached as far as they felt like they were best friends. It wasn't like a typical Hollywood relationship thing, like this is only for the brand. No, it seemed authentic. But fast forward, they've shared two kids together, divorced, but co-parenting, all that good stuff. But then I see Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. I'm like, okay. The last relationship for Meg Thee Stallion didn't work out too good because it was Tory Lanez. Let's not, that's a whole nother story right there. So Meg Thee Stallion, very successful entertainer, very successful rapper. She's now into acting as well. I think she was doing a Broadway play or still doing it. She's very successful. And then you got Klay Thompson, multi-winning NBA champ. His most successful years was with the Golden State Warriors. He's currently with the Dallas Mavericks, and he is, I would say, their franchise player. It were allegations brought on social media by way of Meg Thee Stallion, who said, it's over, Klay cheated, this and that and the other. And then you go to Klay Thompson responding saying, she cheated first. And then she responds by saying, I ain't cheat first. That's a lie. And it's like, who do you want to believe? I personally think they just told themselves saying, you know what, y'all shouldn't be in a committed relationship. I think the world has seen it all and it has spoken. So we're going to talk just a brief thing about that. And also Spencer Pratt, former reality star. Everyone knew him from the show The Hills. He announced a while back that he will be running for mayor of Los Angeles, citing frustration of how Los Angeles has become. And really just frustrated with the state of California. Well, can you really blame him? But he is hoping to unseat the incumbent Karen Bass, who Karen also served on Congress representing the state of California. And it was recently announced that Spencer Pratt has raised more money than Karen Bass. Now, could you just say, well, maybe he has more access to wealthy individuals, being that he was kind of born into money? Or could you say, well, donors are frustrated and they want some new faces. They don't want a typical career politician serving office. They want somebody new that is truly passionate about the community. So that could also be one. What else do we have on the show? Republican strategist and Fox News political contributor Karl Rove. He shares his three three Democratic candidates that the Democratic Party should lean towards for 2028, and he shares that, hey, they have the winning formula. And I'm very curious to hear about that, because I've asked y'all the question many times, like, who do you think each party has as far as key contenders? Who are their contenders? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And we got a few other stuff to discuss if we have some time. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on the GoatVerse TV app. All you have to do is just download the app on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. So if you happen to be driving around town in Las Vegas on a Friday night, just remember, y'all, 8 p.m. Pacific time, the Arrington Gavin Show airs only on KSHP 1400 AM or 107.1 FM. So be sure to change that radio dial to KSHP and tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And then we're going to take a trip to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM, where you can tune into the show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's only on WDJY 99.1 FM. And then lastly, we're going to head over to New Orleans. How's my fam doing out there? WBOK 12:30 a.m. You can listen into the show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. The Arrington Gavin Show. WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. All righty, folks. So those are just a few stations where you can chime into the show. We hope to continue to grow our audience and get on more, but we are very fortunate, and we enjoy having such a great partnership with our affiliates. So again, shout out to all three of those affiliates there. What else? I think I've mentioned everything. Oh, do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. It is the Arrington Gavin Show YouTube channel. It's very simple. All right. With the video you're tuning into right now, give us a thumbs up, like, all that great stuff, share with the friends, share with family. And we just want to continue to, again, grow great conversations. So I appreciate it, family. What do we have going on now? I hope y'all are, for one, had a wonderful weekend, wonderful day, all that great stuff. The wife and I, we got to see Sherry Shepherd over the over the other night. The other evening we went to see her. She's on a tour right now, and Sherry Shepherd, her successful daytime talk show has been canceled after 4 seasons. But she's continuing to just stay in the money, stays rolling in great opportunities. I think she's going to be doing a movie soon. Again, she has the tour where she's going around so many cities, and it was she did a great job, had a great opener, and it was a good time. But now the wife and I, it's time for us to check out this new Michael Jackson movie too, because we were actually planning on seeing the I got tickets to see the Michael Jackson movie, and it happened to be the same evening as the Sherry Shepherd. I'm like, dang it, and we already got the Sherry Shepherd tickets in advance. So I'm like, okay, Mike, I've seen a ton of your movies, but this one's gonna have to be rescheduled, so we can see Sherry Shepherd. But I've been hearing a lot of great stuff about the Michael Jackson movie. I've heard his nephew, I think it's Jafar or Jafari, Jafar Jackson, I think that's his name. He played phenomenal. Even the gentleman who played little young Michael Jackson did phenomenal. and it was just a great, great cast. When I saw the lineup, I'm like, oh man, you got Nia Long in this as well, playing Karen Jackson. I mean, it's a great lineup of folks, and I'm excited. I think it's great for the family to see this movie be as successful as it is. Of course, his children to also remember their proud moments with their father, which I know they do every day. So I'm looking forward to checking out that film. Also, before we hit forward, and we're not going to talk too much about it today, but I'll share a little bit more on my social media. But as you know, a while back during the White House Correspondents' Dinner, there was a shooting incident that happened where a man bum rushed trying to crash a party, and as of right now, they're saying he was targeting the president, and they end up canceling that whole thing. It was a lot of folks are panicking, shaking. A lot of, again, correspondents, those in the media space, they were very shaken up, and it's sad. It's sad that this exists in our world, where folks that you don't agree with are having their life threatened. It's disgusting, and I feel like it's even more disgusting when you hear folks point fingers at who's the cause of this. Okay, once again, they always say, well, it's the left that's the reason why we're having all these. It's the right, the reason. Like, why? Let's just say, okay, we're happy that nobody was hurt. We're happy that you got great law enforcement officers that did their job on taking down the shooter. It's just people skip over all this other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I'm going to continue to share some more on our social media, because like I said, this is something I don't want to spend time talking on the show, because new things will come up, because now this is a further investigation. So just wanted to mention that. Let's see, we're going to take a commercial break, y'all, and when we come back, I want to talk about this story about a popular podcaster who is telling everybody, basically he's playing like the Dave Ramsey kind of financial podcaster guy, and it turns out he's a fraud, and now he's found guilty on a fraud scam, and a fraud scheme, and we're gonna talk about it. We are gonna talk about it, y'all. So do not go anywhere. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, College Player of the Year, All-Rookie Standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care.
Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, my friends. Well, let's get it going with the show. Before we head forth, I gotta open up with this convo with you all. Check out this story here. So, because due to this war in Iran happening, look at this here. Or for those who are listening to us, so the largest condom maker says the war in Iran will force them to increase the price of condoms by 20 to 30%. Lord have mercy. The sources here is Reuters. Here's the thing. Are they trying to force people to have babies? Are they trying to force people to have kids? Literally. Well, they're not having. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raise the price of condoms. No, I'm joking. But anyway, it says here major condom manufacturing has warned that ongoing geopolitical tensions, including conflict involving Iran, could drive up production costs and lead to price increases of 20 to 30%. Now, supply chain disruptions and rising raw materials costs are cited as key factors. Now, the industry analyst says products that rely on rubber and global shipping networks are especially vulnerable to instability in energy markets and trade routes. Consumers could begin seeing higher retail prices if they if the situation continues to impact manufacturing and distributions. My heart. No, you got folks that be like, no, that's cool. That's cool. That's okay. And then you got some folks saying, well, you know what? I shop at Sam's, Costco's, BJ's, okay. Those warehouse stores. I shop there. But let me stop. But when I saw that, I'm like, what else can go wrong due to this war? Gas is already high as hell. Now you're talking about the condoms increasing in prices. What else can go wrong? What else can go wrong? But let me go ahead and move forward, y'all, to this story about where is it? So I don't know if you've heard of this podcast, but it's called Rich and Unemployed. Never heard of this podcast, by the way, until today. The podcaster behind that has recently been sentenced for a $3.8 million scheme. The gentleman's name is Jonathan Dupiton, I think that is Dupton, something like that. No, it's Dupiton. Okay, I went to school, y'all. I promise. It's just you see some words, you're like, did I say that right? Did I say that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but let me go ahead and here we go. So let me read you a little more about this story here. It says here that the Atlanta podcaster has been sentenced to 7 years in federal prison after being convicted of using stolen identities to obtain millions of dollars in unemployment insurance benefits. Now, the gentleman who I mentioned earlier, who hosts the Rich and Unemployment podcast, is heading back to prison after pleading guilty on a January 13th to conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud and aggravated identity theft in front of a U.S. district judge. The 36-year-old was ordered to spend 7 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. He will also be forced to pay restitution in an amount which has not been revealed. So let me give you just a little backstory on this. Prosecutors say that the 2020 Dupiton was completing a federal sentence at a halfway house for a previous fraud conviction targeting the supplement nutrients assistance program when the crimes occurred. Now, prosecutors say he organized a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme that targeted California Unemployment Insurance, UI for short, benefits program that began in July of 2020 and continued through early 2021. The program provided temporary financial assistance to lawful workers who were unemployed due to COVID-19 pandemic. As part of the scheme, he obtained stolen identities of hundreds of unwitting individuals and filed claims in California using a VPN to Mass's actual online location. What kills me is, y'all, there are so many scammers until it's not even funny. Everybody just wants to be rich so bad. And true, look, who doesn't, right? More money, that whole more money, more problems. I don't believe in that. I say more money can take care of more of my problems. Hello. But the thing is, greed is the most addicting drug out there. Hello, we have a president in Washington right now who's one of the greediest individuals in the world, like bar none. And so when I hear about these folks, that because one thing I've realized, there are like so many personalities and influencers. I'm like, how did you get your start? Like, where'd you come from all of a sudden? Rich and unemployment, never heard this, but yet the podcast had so many followers and he was so successful. But putting on this fake image, and you have the vulnerable that continues to look at that like, oh, I'm listening to this person, I'm gonna continue to do this because they're right. Obviously, look how they're living, look at this, look at that, and all it turns out to be a lie. So now this fool, who rightfully deserves to be put in jail for what he did. And my question is, okay, what's going to be next? Is he going to come back still successful? Because controversy sells as well. Controversy is very lucrative. It says here, after the claims were approved, he and his co-conspirators would route the benefit debit cards to a North Georgia mailing address, including his own address. He would then withdraw the money from ATMs, mostly in Metro Atlanta. Wow. Says here, and all prosecutors say that he duped the federal government out of almost $4 million, y'all, $3.8 million to be exact, of which he was able to withdraw about $2 million. And his podcast, he explains that his motto is FRAUD, fraud, which is dope. He says with fraud being a finally rich after unstoppable determination. Finally rich after unstoppable determination. My goodness. Like I said, this is the first time I'm hearing about this guy, but it's just, that's why I can't stand reality TV, because a good number of these like Real Housewife shows, they turn out to like, oh, they were going to jail for not paying taxes, or they were going in jail for a Ponzi scheme, and this, and I'm like, what else is new, y'all? Like, just stop being fake. Please just stop being fake. Be your true self. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But hey, obviously people enjoy being putting on this image of something that they're not, because they get to receive benefits and millions of dollars and this and the other. But yeah, have y'all ever heard of this podcast, Rich and Unemployment? Rich and Unemployed, not unemployment, Rich and Unemployed. Well, this guy will be not rich, but he will be unemployed after doing his time and all that stuff. Anyway, let me stop, y'all. But lesson learned, y'all, don't put all your faith in these some of these influencers. That now, there's some very, very great ones. Okay, shout out to John Hope Bryan, shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Okay, I don't tune into Dave Ramsey, but he's been in the game for a long time, and I know he's well respected. Okay, well respected. Who else are some good financial gurus? It's a lady that I have in mind, and I'm blanking on her name to save my life, and I apologize. But you have some successful folks that do mean well. But when you have these cats, man, it's sad. It's sad. But let me digress from this one and move it on to the UK. So the UK is passing a bill that will eventually ban cigarette purchases. Okay. So when I saw this, I thought it was quite interesting, because I really didn't pay no mind. I don't smoke cigarettes. Now, I'm a cigar fan. I smoke a cigar from time to time. I would say maybe a couple times a month or a few times a month, something like that. When the weather's good and if the weather's great, I'll sneak back in the backyard and we'll just enjoy me a good, you know, little puff here and there. There's some good cigars out there. Plus, I go to a club where they have a nice cigar lounge, and like every first Friday is like a cigar social. Anyway, opponents of smoking got a breath of fresh air, says this is reported by the Associated Press as Parliament passed a bill that will put cigarettes out of reach for future generations. So, for those who were born after 2008, is banning them from making tobacco purchases. The end of smoking and the devastating harm it causes is no longer uncertain. It's inevitable. Hazel Cheeseman, a chief executive of Action on Smoking and Health, said after decades-long campaign in favor of legislation, children born after December 31st of 2028 will be banned forever buying cigarettes under the tobacco and vapes bill. I think this is great. I think the U.S. should adopt it but at the end of the day, yes, people can always sneak in, and try and avoid the stipulations, but I see a lot of youth puffing on these vapes. Now, I don't see them smoking cigarettes per se. I rarely see people I still see people smoke cigarettes, but I don't see young people smoking cigarettes. I see them mainly smoking vapes. I've never smoked vapes. I've had hookah before, but like I said, I'm a cigar guy. I'll have a cigar from time to time. That is it. For me. So I don't want to sound like I'm too much of a hypocrite, but I'm just saying I didn't start smoking those cigars at no young age. Okay. I probably started to enjoy, once I was finishing up college, I started, dabbing it a little bit, you know what I mean? You got to experiment with that stuff, you know what I mean? But the legislation that needs approval by King Charles III, a formality before taking effects, will also allow the government to regulate tobacco, vaping, and nicotine products, including flavors and packaging. Now, it is currently illegal to sell cigarettes, tobacco products, or vapes to people younger than 18. But most youth today will continue to face ban their entire life as a minimum age to buy cigarettes rises each year. Good job for the UK. Now, this law is similar to one New Zealand lawmaker who passed this in 2022, but that was repealed by a subsequent government. So I don't know. I think that's quite interesting. What's your guys' take on that? Y'all think this is good? Because when it comes to, I would say, protecting youth, I look at this as like, okay, this is a way to protect youth and also to keep I guess, well, I'm not going to say keep manufacturers accountable, but it is definitely to keep youth safe with this, because like I said, every time I'm somewhere, I see some cloud of smoke or this and that, and I'm just like, what you look like you about? And I'm just like, daggone. So it's rough out here, man. It's rough. Let's digress from this one. Let me move it on. Since we're talking about bills being passed, so out in Tennessee, Tennessee recently had just passed a bill. They recently just passed a bill allowing the use of deadly force to be protected. Let me repeat that. Officials have officially passed a bill allowing the use of deadly force to protect property. Now, I look at this as a great thing. Okay, I don't know why this is just now being passed, but apparently it was something that wasn't brought to Senate, but in this new bill, let's see, it says it's sparking a major debate after lawmakers approved the measures that could allow property owners to use deadly force in certain situations. Now, if signed into law, the bill would let homeowners use lethal force to stop crimes like trespassing, burglary, theft, arson, or property damage. Supporters say it gives people the right to protect what's theirs without hesitation, especially when facing active threats. But critics are pushing back, arguing the law could lower the threshold for using deadly force and create dangerous situations. Officials also noted the law would not apply if the person is retreating or no longer posing as a threat. Now, here's my take on this. There's so many things that come up to my head. So, one thing I hate is solicitors. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. We even look. We have a sign literally in front of our home saying like no soliciting. Yet we still get people who come by like I'm like, do y'all not paging? Now I'm not saying that. I'm gonna add deadly force to whoever trying to solicit. No, I'm not saying that. But there's folks out there that might think different. Okay, everybody to them is a threat, so they're gonna come probably wanting their weapon or doing anything. So I can see that being a bit dangerous per se, because you have folks that work for like cable companies that come by. You have folks that are simply just trying to advertise their business, that they have lawn care or um uh, 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 candidates running for office, okay, door knocking, grassroots organizations. I mean, you still have folks that will come on folks' property and or just drop something there and be like, "Hey, I'm just here." But I don't know. I see that being an argument, but as far as if someone is seen as a threat, by all means, you know what you got to do to protect your household. If someone's coming trying to break in this and that, because before I think you would get I think the owner would be uh 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 in the wrong if, for example, if somebody broke into your home and you might have capped the person in the leg. I think the homeowner is at fault. A friend of mine had told me that, at least here in Virginia, they had told me that. I have to read more into it because I was unaware of that. But I just think this is a protect your household. This is my property. If I have signage or if I have this that says no trespassing, you come on my property, okay, you made that choice. If you look like you're a threat, then I got to do something. But again, we live in a world where, especially in Tennessee, I mean, you go to certain parts of Tennessee, they probably gonna just look at me and think I'm a threat just but because the way that I look. All right. That's this is it's sad, but that's the world we live in. There's certain communities that they're gonna look at certain folks and be like, oh, they just like a threat because they are not the same as them. Remember years back when there was a black gentleman that was running in a neighborhood, in a nice neighborhood, and a father and son literally chased him in their pickup truck and killed him. I mean, took his own life. It was flat out wrong and racist. And I say all of that because yes, I see some good with this bill being passed, but I also see some arguments that can be made. And so I guess I ask you all, is this a controversial bill that is being passed? Do you look at this as a controversial bill, or do you think other states should adopt this if they haven't? I want to hear from you. Hit me up, whether if it's through Instagram or on our website. Send us an email, www.theagshow.com. Reach out to us, and I want to hear what you guys say about this, because this is interesting. I'm gonna talk some more about this with some of my friends, especially those that live in the state of Tennessee. Let's see, where are we at now? Let me go ahead, and we're moving through these stories pretty fast, which I like it. I want to head over to the state of California, where Spencer Pratt, who is running for mayor of Los Angeles. He is running for mayor in Los Angeles. And it shows that he is right now in the lead. Well, he's not in the lead, but he outraised incumbent Karen Bass. Again, somebody who was a longtime California politician. She's a former congresswoman that became mayor of Los Angeles. And I want to share a little more on this. Okay, so this is from People Magazine. So the Hills alum Spencer Pratt has raised more money than incumbent Karen Bass. I shared earlier that, okay, this could be a sign of a threat to Karen Bass, because she's like, wait a minute, I'm the incumbent here. Everybody should be leaning on me. It's Los Angeles, for crying out loud. I'm in the state of California. I'm in a very blue state. Los Angeles is a very blue city. Why am I getting outraised? But again, I've seen candidate people raise the most money. Hasn't, Kamala Harris raised well over $1 billion. She's not the president. So again, sometimes more, it's not about the money. It's about who's gonna vote for who come November. But I look at this as a desperate cry for help, because so much stuff has occurred in Los Angeles, in California. You had the wildfires that destroyed, neighborhoods, people that lived there for years, people that was like, this was going to be my forever home, and now it's gone. All my memories are gone. And they look at local leaders and say, what's the deal here? That's why for me, I personally think, just coming out of Los Angeles, I'm just talking for the overall state in the governor's race, I do think California might be seeing their Republican governor first since Schwarzenegger was in office. That's just me. I'm putting it out there. That's just me. I also do not think that a person from California should be running for president in 2028. Put those two things out. Going back to this race here, says that among some of Pratt's donors, Catherine McPhee, okay, she is, I believe, she's the wife and actress. She's a singer, actress, and I think she's the wife, Catherine McPhee. I think she's the wife of David Foster, if I'm not mistaken. If for those in the music world, David Foster is very, very popular. Lauren Conrad's ex, Doug Reiner, Kim Kardashian's producer, Jeff Jenkins, and so many others have donated to Spencer Pratt. And Pratt, I recently saw Pratt on The View, and very, 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 humble guy. Like, he wasn't coming across as the whole, the left is doing this. Like, he didn't come kind of talking with talking points, or like the aggressor kind of, just politician or conspiracy kind of. Like, he seemed like, hey, look, I'm a citizen. I've called this place my home for years. I'm frustrated, and I want to pursue and take a leap of faith, and I want to do something about it. I want to pursue. So anyway, he's looking to surpass the incumbent Mayor Bass in a campaign funding for Los Angeles mayor's race. Now, Pratt is 42 years old, has raised over $539,616.85 to be exact for his mayoral campaign since January. Now, according to campaign records reviewed by People Magazine, among Pratt's donors are fellow Hills. I've mentioned those folks. Bass, who is 72 years old, has raised $494,734.76 for her campaign since January. Now, Pratt, who is running as an independent candidate, registered as a Republican in 2020. Now, Politico previously reported he originally registered as an independent in July of 2008, and then re-registered as a Republican in August of 2020. The reality TV star did not start voting consistently until 2020, after voting in the first general election in 2008 which is reported by Politico, Pratt did hit the polls for the November 2025 Proposition 50 redistricting campaign in California. The outlets report citing voter records. Now, in a February interview with NBC, Pratt explained his motivations for running for mayor. Pratt claimed that Bass had an action report surrounding the 2025 Los Angeles County wildfires altered to take away from her negligence from it. Bass Oz denied Pratt's allegations with a statement from her office saying this is absolutely no reason why she would request those details be altered or erased, when she herself has been critical of the response to the fire, full stop. So when you see all these things, it becomes no minute choice that if somebody's not stepping up, I just felt I had no choice. Pratt said of his decision to enter the race. Now, he went on to say, and again, I don't want to be running for mayor. I want to be back in my house feeding hummingbirds, taking my kids to the local school, and having my life. So I just have no choice but to do this. Pratt's younger sister, this was in February, Pratt's younger sister, Stephanie, 39 years old, spoke out against his mayoral bid in a series of posts on X. In the post she shared February 14th, saying she claimed that her brother, with whom she had a strained relationship, is only running in attempt to stay famous. I mean, hey, you look, you don't know what his intentions is. You really don't know. I mean, yes, it's unfortunate when you hear that coming from your own sister for out of all of that. Stephanie also made several allegations against him while giving a history of Spencer, claiming that her older brother beat her, got her hooked on drugs during her teen years, and was once in a cult. She also made reference to Spencer and Lauren Conrad's infamous feud on the Hills. That being said, this will be a interesting election. Spencer Pratt was no angel in the past. If you followed along his career when he was a reality star, he was a wild buck. Like, he really was. He was one of reality TV's, most known villains. He also struggled with addiction. Currently, I mean, his wife, they, Heidi Montag, I think her name is, they both look well, they look happy. I think truly, and I mean, again, I don't know him personally, but I truly think he's like just fed up with California politicians, and he's like, I gotta do something. Because again, they lost their home. Him and his wife, they lost their home with memories and photos and this and that, and they lost it. Not saying that they don't have money, but that's like, just if look, most people can't even live without their cell phone. People can't even live a great life if they find out that they lose their phone. So imagine losing your whole entire home. That being said, I think this will be an interesting race. Now, him running as an independent and her being a registered Democrat is always going to be difficult because, as you know, the two-party system, there's only going to go right or left. But on local races can be somewhat it could be a better chance for an independent to run for a local race. In my opinion, I think they have better chances than, obviously, higher larger political positions. But again, California what have they seen that is great, that is good? Not homelessness, not wildfires. Like, what have they seen? Not cost of living. Okay, what have they seen that's been improvement? And even under, I'm sorry, but even under Karen Bass, and look, she was a successful congresswoman, and has a great career, as an elected official. But it's like being hired to be the next head coach of the New York Jets. Most likely, hey, if I'm a new time head coach, I ain't gonna be have good luck being a head coach of the Jets. That being said, you're not gonna have great luck being a mayor of Los Angeles, okay, or leading the state of California. Like, it's a hard position. So I say it like this: Los Angeles is the area of where all the stars live. So I can't even say I don't take Spencer Pratt. Like, I don't. It's not like I'm saying I do not take him seriously, because I think he is very serious. Look, California is the state where Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor in. So I don't know. I think Spencer Pratt could possibly, like, I don't know. I think he could I think he can turn some heads. I really do. But we're gonna continue to follow up on this, because when I first heard that he was running, I'm like, I'm not gonna take this seriously. Like, this is a reality star saying I'm gonna run for this and run for that. I'm like, good luck with that. But after seeing, watching some of his interviews and really seeing his just some of his proposals and what he hopes to do for, like, I'm curious to hear. But I do think, though, you need to have an understanding on how to run a city and not just make it like a feelings thing. Like, don't just say, well, I'm running to end the corruption and this and that and the other. No, like, have you led corporations before? Because being a leader of a city, especially Los Angeles, is like you got to lead a corporation. So it ain't easy, buddy. It ain't easy. Let's see here, my friends. We're gonna take another commercial break here. Thank you for sticking with us. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, that's that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Our risk from injury from a fall or car crash increases as we age. But getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on the activities you love. Take simple steps to avoid injuries, like doing activities that improve strength and balance. Get yearly eye and wellness exams, and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the medicines you take. Also, tell your doctor if you've fallen or worry about falling. Learn more about aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned earlier, let me see how much time I'm looking. Let me talk real quick about Karl Rove. Karl Rove, do I have Karl stuff up here? Oh, I do not. Well, that's no big deal. I'm still talking about it. So, Karl Rove is a Republican strategist and also more like a Republican guru. I mean, he is the James Carville of the right. And he had it's true, he's pretty solid dude. He's also a Fox News contributor, and he had shared his opinion on who the left who the left should look to as key contenders for 2028, but also individuals he thinks that has a winning formula for 2028. And let me go share this with you. So I'm reading this off of from thehill.com. Says here that Rove, his 3 Democratic White House hopefuls have elements of a winning formula. So Republican strategist Karl Rove recently shared there are 3 Democratic presidential hopefuls. And his hopefuls, check this out, y'all. His hopefuls are Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and U.S. Senator out of New Jersey Cory Booker, who each, he says, have elements of a winning formula. He wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal titled "Democrats in Peril from Barcelona to to Boise." That's some Democratic leaders understand their party is unpopular. Still, while Mr. Schumer and others try mitigating their party toxicity, I've always struggled saying that word, toxicity, by running independents in name only, smart Democrats understand their party needs a better message to attract voters. Referring to Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat out of New York, they don't have the complete answer, but 3 possible Democratic 2028 hopefuls have elements of a winning formula. He started with Beshear, who he said has the tone. Now, I agree with Karl Rove on the tone. Beshear has that tone, and I've shared it on my social media many times. James Tallarico, he is the Democratic nominee for U.S. Senator in Texas. He also has that tone, but Beshear has that poised tone. See, to Karl, he thinks that majority of your popular Democratic figures are loud, progressive, very, very in your face, right? He's like, no, he has that tone. He has that presidential tone and poise. He then goes on to add Democrats must focus on things that matter. The former White House strategist continued, talk like a normal human being, he says. Don't just talk about your policy points, talk about your why. And the why has to be authentic. Of course, in telling Democrats to be authentic, he should come across as such. That's sometimes a problem for Beshear. He's too wooden. When I hear the word too wooden, he's a little too talking pointish. He's a little too presidential. Like he tries a little too hard to put on this image of like, hi, everything is good here. Almost like a robot, right? Okay, loosen up, chill, be authentic. And I see that a lot, even in like local races, man. There's people that are always going to give you the headline, but they're not going to give you the meat and potato. They're not going to give you substance. When it comes to voters, man, we don't care about hearing affordability anymore. We don't care about hearing healthcare. Vote for me because I'm going to support healthcare. I'm going to support affordability. I'm going to support safety, public safety. What the hell does that mean? Okay, like explain that to us, because we've heard that same title over and over and over again. He then goes on to Booker, who he said got the language right while speaking at the Michigan Democratic Convention. He brought the crowd to their feet as he shouted, "Will you stand together, unified, strong, be the hope that people need?" He deliberately didn't close with a waltz or a Murphy like denunciation of Mr. Trump, referring to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat out of Connecticut. He ended with a call for positive action. So that I agree with, as far as when you continue to repeat and tell folks Trump this, Trump that. Look, everybody see that that Trump is a lot. You don't need to continue to repeat it, but at the end of the day, Trump ain't gonna be there no more. once his term is up, like you can't continue to bring up Trump or make comments and that. People know, but people do want to hear what are you gonna do for us? Last, because I'm looking at my time here, he gave praise to Rahm Emanuel for making a compelling common sense case for a new Democratic Party during every appearance and op-ed. He's running more to the center, offering answers to real problems and criticizing his party for being out of step with the middle America. He added, saying, capturing the right tone matters, but substance does too. Now, out of all three of those, my honest opinion, no to Booker. Booker tried it before. And it's something against him, but I would say no to Booker. Beshear might, because Beshear's a Democratic governor representing Kentucky. He's a Democratic governor representing Kentucky. So think about that now. Folks, for the most part, will say Kentucky is a red state, which I guess, would you consider it purple if you have a Democratic governor? I don't know. And he comes from a political family. Now, Rahm Emanuel, who worked under the Obama administration, but former mayor of Chicago, is that something to really be proud about? I mean, is that a great qualifications when for running for president? I personally don't think Rahm Emanuel is presidential ready. I think he will forever be a person that somebody might consider to work in their administration, but I do not see him being a president. Now, he might have the right messaging because he is coming out as a person that's not scared to criticize his own party. I totally agree with that. So in that notion, what Rove is saying, he's not scared to move to center and tell folks this is where you should be, and not to the fringes on the extreme ends of a party. Like, majority of folks are either center left or center right, or just right dab in the middle. Those that want to be on the extreme ends, let them be on their own, but they should never be running anything. They shouldn't. So at the end of this, because my time is running short, who are your contenders for 2028? Who are some of your folks that you think will be sharp representing the Republican Party and representing the Democratic Party, or somebody that's coming from the middle? Do you see this as a moment of third party candidates growing and people actually relying on third party candidates? Because I'll be honest, I don't think either party has contenders at this point. Gavin Newsom needs to sit down somewhere. Gavin might be a VP pick, might, but we already had a California VP. If he becomes VP, then most likely he would try and pursue running for president, but I just don't see him being successful with the California baggage. That's just my honest opinion. On the right, I don't think Vance is a good candidate. Rubio is a better candidate than Vance, in my opinion, but hey, Vance he is the vice president, so most likely he will run for president in the coming cycle. So we will see, my friends. We will see. But until next time, thank you as always for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to stay safe, stay informed, and stay tuned for another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.